Good morning, GBS. We are in Psalms 74. And the title of today's message is God, Please Defend Us. I just want to begin this message with apologizing for my face. Whatever that rash was that was on my ears is now spreaded across my whole face. That's hence the redness and all of that stuff. I feel like I'm having a Job moment, and what's giving me a glimmer of hope is once God restored everything to Job, even his skin and stuff was as smooth as a baby. So that's what I'm looking forward to in this process. It sucks. I'm embarrassed. I'm actually embarrassed when I go into places. I'm trying to explain to people that I'm not contagious, but honestly, well, I'm not, because my babies and nobody else have this, only me. I think I'm allergic to something. I honestly think it's something that I ate, but here I am trying to do everything right. Ever since I finished the cleanse, the Daniel fast, I kind of stopped eating meat, but then I started flirting with it a little bit, and I think something is going on in my body where I'm having an adverse reaction to it. So but the good thing is, I hope everybody should feel safe coming as you are to Ghetto Bible study. You don't have to hide any blemishes, any mistakes, any flaws. Come as you are, and we'll receive you. All right, let's begin the message. In 586 BC, the army of Babylon destroyed the temple in Jerusalem. Nebuchadnezzar is the king of Babylon, and Asaph, the writer of this psalm, is asking God, why did he allow this to happen to his chosen people, the Israelites?
Psalm 74, an Asaph psalm. You walked off and left us and never looked back. God, how could you do that? We're your very own sheep. How can you stomp off in anger?
I know why he did that. Because they was hard-headed. They was hard-headed. It's as simple as that. He told them what was going to happen if they start worshiping other idols, or worshiping idols and doing stuff like the non-believers did. He said, everything that I gave you, I'm going to take away from you. So now he's kicking them out. He's kicking them out of the land of milk and honey.
Refresh your memory of us. You bought us a long time ago. Your most precious tribe. You paid a good price for us. Your very own Mount Zion. You actually lived here once.
How you gonna tell God to refresh his memory like God forgot who they was, and like God forgot that he rescued them, and God forgot that he chose them? No, he remembered all of that, and he loved them so much. That's why he punishing their hard-headed selves.
Come and visit the site of disaster. See how they've wrecked the sanctuary. While your people were at worship, your enemies barged in, brawling and scrawling graffiti. They set fire to the porch, axes swinging. They chopped up the woodwork, beat down the doors with sledgehammers, then split them into kindling. They burned your holy place to the ground, violated the place of worship.
And you know what? He allowed it. He allowed them to do that because of the type of crap that they was doing in his so-called place of worship anyway. They started mixing religions, and some of the religions of the people who lived there before them, they had prostitutes. It was like sexual worship. They was doing some jacked up stuff in God's holy place. So yep, he allowed them to just tear it up, rip it to shreds, and burn it all down because they was doing stuff in there that wasn't honoring him. It was actually a slap in the face.
They said to themselves, we'll wipe them all out and burn down all the places of worship. There's not a sign or symbol of God in sight, nor anyone to speak in his name. No one knows what's going on.
Here's what's going on. They thought they can get away with murder for too long. That's what's happening. And it's God's punishment. That's what's going on. Now all of a sudden you want to play victim and, oh God, we love you, we believe in you, we're your chosen people. No, it's too late. Y'all screwed up way too bad, and this is just the punishment. There's consequences to your actions, and this is their consequence, and it ain't no getting out of it.
How long, God, will barbarians blaspheme, enemies curse, and get by with it? Why don't you do something? How long are you going to sit there with your hands folded in your lap?
I feel like people can say stuff like that when they feel like they're innocent. But in this case, they're not innocent. And we know this because we read it all the way through. We saw exactly, what they was doing. They was sacrificing kids, burning their own children, and killing them as a sign of worship to another false god. So whoever it is who's saying his message, maybe he's been living his life, kind of right for the most part. And he don't really understand what's going on because he don't see the bigger picture. And I even think with stuff that's going on in this world today, like with global warming, we had a doggone snowstorm a week ago. And look at the weather right now. This is what it looks like outside right now. There's my daddy burning the trash. It's perfectly sunny weather. Now, if I didn't know anything about global warming, I wouldn't know what was going on either. The fact that President Trump didn't care anything about that, and he let people do whatever they wanted to do, as long as, the price that he was getting paid was big enough, it's no wonder crap like this is happening. But the point that I'm trying to make is, I got a little bit more of the whole picture. I'm not just blaming Trump. I'm blaming people. Their greed and trying to monopolize just everything. Make as much money as possible. You never let the land rest. You talking about the world is starving, and you make too much food, and then you don't even feed the places that need the food. Like, it's just all jacked up. It's all jacked up. But since I see the bigger picture, I won't pout to God and be like, what's going on? I don't understand what's happening, God. No, this is a consequence of man's actions. And it's the same thing that's going on right here in this message. Yeah, the Babylonians, they coming in and they, burning it up and graffiti and, all of that crap. But it wasn't representing God anymore. He's like, burn it down, start over. Because that show ain't my place of worship. Y'all not worshiping me when y'all go and have prostitutes in my so-called temple. That's a disgrace.
God is my king from the very start. He works salvation in the womb of the earth. With one blow, you split the sea in two. You made mincemeat of the dragon Tannin. You lopped off the heads of Leviathan, then served them up in a stew for the animals.
He's reminding him of stuff that he's already done. And he's saying, like, you broke the head of the whatever monster, whatever he said that was. He was referring to the Egyptian army when God split the Red Sea. And then when he was saying he broke the head of Leviathan, that's like a big sea monster that we spoke about when we was talking about Job. In the book of Job, when I showed y'all that barge and that little man down there fishing, he's reminding God of how big and strong and powerful he is. So he's saying, I know you're not allowing this to happen because you're weak. You're not. Look how strong you are. Look at the things that you've done. So why are you sitting back with your arms crossed or in your lap and not doing anything?
With your finger, you opened up springs and creeks and dried up the wild floodwaters. You own the day. You own the night. You put stars and sun in place. You laid out the four corners of earth, shaped the seasons of summer and winter.
Again, this is just reminding God of how big and strong and powerful he is.
Mark and remember, God, all the enemy taunts, each idiot desecration. Don't throw your lambs to the wolves. After all we've been through, don't forget us.
He's playing a victim card and he's asking God to protect him.
Remember your promises.
Oh yeah, that's one of the best lines ever. Remind God of his promises so you can get that blessing. Well, you ain't gonna get that blessing if God is you in a season of getting a God whooping. It just is what it is. I've been praying about what's going on with my face. And I'm like, okay, I'm holding on to the hope that, things are gonna get better. It's not, trouble don't last always. It ain't gonna stay here forever. But I'm like, God, show me what I did wrong, because when God allowed this type of stuff to happen to Job, like with his skin and all of that stuff, his health, it was to point out pride in him, So when the enemy is attacking, or if God is allowing it, instead of me pulling a victim card and reminding God of his promises, yeah, I know his promises. And that's why I have hope, knowing that, this is going to change. This is going to go away. This ain't going to be, the norm for me. But in the meantime, God, I want to know what I'm supposed to be learning through this. Why are you allowing it to happen so that I can get to the other side? That's what I can't stand, the fact that they missing out on the reason why they're getting punished. You can't just spit in God's face and then pull some scripture and say, remember your promises and get me out of this mess. No, stop sinning. Stop doing that. Let's stop doing that to God. And then as far as playing victim cards and all that crap, God know everything inside and out. He know our heart. So even if we come at him like that, it's a joke. He ain't even answering them at this point because they done did him so wrong. And I don't blame him.
The city is in darkness, the countryside violent. Don't leave the victims to rot in the street.
Once again, woe is me. Again, I don't like when people do that. Out here on the land, we going through some stuff, right? My daddy, he's helped everybody out here. And Trisha's staying in my auntie's house. She's paying rent to her. But when the storms and all that stuff hit, Trisha water went out. And now today, everybody else's water is working, but they found a leak in her pipe, and it's not working. So my family, they've been trying to pull that card with my daddy, like, oh, go help your daughter, instead of paying a professional to go and fix the problem. I don't like that. My daddy is 70 something years old. He's old, and he said they did that to his daddy, and it stressed him out and made that man sick. And I'm glad he saw that, and he won't allow them to do that to him. But that mess is just wrong.
Make them a choir that sings your praises.
Right here, he's saying, don't feed us to the wolves. Save the day. Help us. And if you do, then we'll be like a choir that's singing your praises. Again, they not getting out of this whooping. Not this time. Because God had already come through for them time and time again. King after king. Some kings were good. Some weren't. But at the end of the day, they sinned. And they sinned bad. And they deserve it. This is just justice. And they would never change had God not taken it away. My son, he was just a lazy slob. He was. But I had to take his screens away to get his attention. And now anything I ask him to do, he jumps at it. He jumps at it because he knows, like, the screens, the PlayStation 5 and all of these great gifts, it's a gift, but it can be taken away. So he needs to listen to his father. He needs to listen to his parents, to his mother, and obey us and do what we say, because if not, it can be taken away. And that's what's happening with the children of Israel, and they crying right now because their holy land was taken away. But it had to happen in order for them to stop worshiping false gods and idols and turn from their wicked ways.
On your feet, O God, stand up for yourself. Do you hear what they're saying about you? All the vile obscenities? Don't tune out their malicious filth, the brawling invective that never lets up.
So they done played the victim card. Oh, help us, Lord, so we can be the choir that sings your praises. And now since that didn't work and God is still ignoring them and God is still angry with them, they saying, you gonna let them get away with that? You gonna let them get away with attacking your people and tearing down your temple? Again, it's like they're fighting for God's help. But the crazy part is, this is a big act of faith. It's sad that it took this for them to see God. It's sad that it took for them to experience all of this devastation and this bad stuff happening for them to call out to God. That's all God wanted from jump. So I think in this message, what I'm learning from this is, let's not wait till it gets so bad and God is our last resort and we begging and pleading and trying to use any type of cards that we can to get his attention. How about while we have his attention and we're obeying him and we're not sinning, let's just live that life. How about let's not let it get this bad to the point where God takes away all of our toys, takes away our job, take away our husband or our wife or our family, take away our car or our dreams or our social media or our cell phones. Let's not let it get to that point. Let's honor God, talk to him now, be his choir, sing his praises now for the iPhone that I have in my hand right now, recording this message. Thank you, God, for that. I don't need you to take it away in order for me to realize how valuable it is. I know how valuable it is. I know it is. And I ain't gonna go no further than that because I don't know if the skin thing is a pride thing, so I don't want to start talking about all of the stuff God done gave me. But I'm singing his praises right now for everything, and I'm hoping that he don't have to take anything away to get my attention. And I hope the same for you. I hope y'all enjoyed this message. Let's learn from them and just be a choir that sing his praises now, so we don't have to be crying out to him later when he takes our stuff away to get our attention. Be blessed.